Hello, and thank you for joining us. I am Pilar Bewley from Mainly Montessori, and today I have an incredible guest with me. This is Kait DeGrazia, and Kait is an elementary guide. She's currently doing lower elementary, and Kait and I go way back. We were actually co-teachers for 2 years, and we had a huge classroom. We had over 30 children, ages 6 to 12 in one classroom. I really wanted to bring Kait on to talk about follow-up work. And the reason for that, Kait, is because I get a lot of questions from parents, and the kind of main question I get is, I've given a lesson and my child liked the lesson, but now they don't want to practice. How do I get them to go from the lesson to practicing what they've learned in a way that's, fun and creative and isn't a worksheet, and so that they can actually master the concept, right?
Yep.
And so that is kind of the million-dollar question in the homeschooling world.
I'm laughing because it's the same in the classroom.
Exactly.
It's completely normal for a child ages 6 to 12 to be second planed, to be experiencing these feelings and these displaying these actions.
So when you say actions, do you mean they like the lessons, but then it's hard for them to get excited about follow-up work?
Sometimes it's challenging to get them excited about follow-up. Sometimes it's challenging to get them motivated to finish a follow-up, and sometimes it's hard for them to just see the options because there are a lot of options, and so it can be overwhelming for them to decide on just one because there's so many possibilities.
So can you define follow-up work for us? What's that so special in the Montessori environment?
A follow-up is where your child practices a lesson or a new concept or an idea that they have been given. So you as a parent would be giving them a lesson, and a follow-up is them practicing a new concept until they master it.
So putting it into action, basically.
Yes. We want to try to be as hands-on as we can to help that new concept and that new lesson move from the short-term memory into the long-term memory, so when we revisit it next year, we can really dive in and learn more about it.
So that's the main purpose of follow-up, then. It is practicing leading to mastery.
Yes.
And being creative and having fun in the process.
Yes.
Cool. So now that we've talked about kind of what the child gets from follow-up work, what does the adult get from it?
As a teacher or a guide, and as a parent, I'm sure you will start to see follow-ups are the most important. And it's the most important for us to stop and watch because we get so much good information from follow-ups. So in Montessori, it's the whole child approach, right? So we're not just about academics, and we're not just about social and emotional development. We're about the entire child. And through follow-ups, you get to collect data and information that's going to help steer your next lessons and know, ooh, this part they don't quite understand. I need to review that with them to make sure that this part of the concept or the idea is truly understood. So you can collect data through follow-ups by observing them and seeing where are they getting stuck, or what part of their follow-up have I not taught yet? Maybe it's punctuation, maybe it's capitalization, maybe it's compound sentences, right? There's so much that goes into just one little work for them. And so that's going to be the best data collection for you.
I see. So how are follow-ups different from task cards?
Oh, task cards are just fancy worksheets. Cute little worksheets.
Cute little worksheets chopped up into pieces.
Yeah, it's pretty little pictures on the side. So follow-ups are different, and I think way more valuable for a couple of reasons. One, it's an experience, and we know that the child learns through experience and hands-on learning. So follow-ups are hands-on. And there are a lot more options as far as what they can do. So they get to be creative. They're developing executive functioning skills, which for those of you that don't know, executive functioning is basically what we need to be successful as an adult. So if you're going to the grocery store, executive functioning skills would be, okay, what do I need to bring? I need my bags. I need my grocery list. I need this amount of money, right?
All of planning and organization.
Exactly. Planning and organization. And those are skills that are going to be taught indirectly through follow-ups. So you're going to have hands-on learning. You're going to have executive functioning skills. It's also going to help your child build self-confidence and feel so proud of creating these large works.
And I know that it's happened to you, and I hear it from parents all the time where they say, my child has this huge idea for a project, right? Especially the 6 and 7-year-olds, this is typical. They have this huge idea for a project, but an hour into it, they have a total meltdown. They don't want to do it anymore. And I, like as the parent, don't know how to guide the experience from beginning to end.
Or you start to feel frustrated for them and upset that they're upset, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the most important part with doing large works or big follow-ups like a model or a book making is breaking it down. We need to break it down into small, obtainable goals for your child. All humans, you reach a big goal when you feel successful with those smaller goals. So that's all we're going to be doing is breaking down. Let's say they want to make a real life model of something. Well, that's going to take a lot of time and planning. And so we want to break it down into smaller steps so that they can start checking them off, feeling successful, and reach that end goal. Once your child reaches that first end goal, you're going to see a switch in their behavior because they're going to be so proud of overcoming the overwhelm of a big project and seeing their hard work come to fruition, getting to show it off, right? Or you start to see their self-confidence build, and they start to take steps into other ideas because now they're feeling more capable.
So they realize that they can do hard things,
Yes.
that they can see a project through, and that they can make these big ideas come to life.
Yes.
Right? But that's a really big responsibility for parents.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it can be really hard to, I mean, you can see a project, you can envision a project in your mind, but breaking it down for your child can be really challenging.
Yes, absolutely. And as you're learning together, be very open about it because I think that children need to see that you're also learning together. And so when you start breaking up the parts into smaller parts, sometimes you're like, oh, I didn't realize this part needs to be broken into 2 parts. Like maybe we're talking about making a book and it's a cover. And maybe you need to do an illustration on the cover a different day than the title and the author because it's just a little overwhelming for your 6-year-old. But that's only going to be learned through experience and through time. So be patient with yourself, be patient with your child because time is needed. Lots of time for everything.
And that's such valuable advice, I think, for homeschoolers, and it's such a benefit of homeschooling,
Yes.
right? That they have that time to sit with their child and guide them through, and they know their child.
100%. Many of times I see a child get seated and focused and super excited at 2:30 right before our school day ends. And I've had a couple, actually 2 different children this year have broken down crying because they wanted to keep working and couldn't because time was up. And so that's 100% a benefit of working at home is, yeah, time's going to run out, but you don't have to clean it up. You can leave it out, and continue working first thing in the morning. So
Amazing. So I love all these ideas. I know at the same time that parents don't always have the bandwidth to, develop all of these teaching skills because these truly are teaching skills, right? They're the kinds of things that you develop as a teacher as you work with children.
Yep. And as years of experience come
As
with
years
that,
of experience.
you learn like what they need to be successful. So
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I see it often. I see that, the parents that I work with, they have the best intentions. They don't always have the bandwidth. And so in order to address that, I've asked Kait to put together in her spare time, because not only is she a full-time teacher, but she's also a mom.
A toddler.
A toddler, yeah. So I've asked her to put together a course that will not only help you as parents to see your child differently and to understand what follow-up work is and how to guide your child, but it's also for your child. So Kait, can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Absolutely. So I'm so excited and so honored that Pilar asked me to create this course for you. There's going to be 2 components of the course. So the first component is for you, the adult, and it's going to help you develop language needed to help your child be successful, create independence, and create realistic expectations for your child as they're still learning these skills, right? The second part of the course is actually for your child themselves. So I use the Perch the Bird lesson I wanted to show your children how this one little lesson can be made all of these different ways. So I show your children how to make a book, how to make a poster, how to make a model, how to make a brochure, how to make their own card sorts. And once they have the skills to create a book, then they can make a book about anything or a poster about anything, right? So I give your children these broken down steps and lessons so that they can be successful in their follow-ups going forward and choose what follow-up they feel most excited about. You'll start to see your child's wall slowly disappearing because it's covered in posters, which means you're doing something right and your child is loving learning and learning about everything that they possibly can. So
that's amazing. So when does this course come out?
This course comes out mid-February, and if you are really interested in it, you can sign up on the link below.
Yeah, so there's a wait list. Yeah, there's a wait list so that you can be the first to get your hands on the course.
Yes, and you Hub members get an extra discount. I think it's almost 50% off of this coursework for you because we know that you specifically need it, like yesterday. So we've been working really hard to get this to you as soon as we possibly can, but we also want to make sure it's done right.
Yes.
So
yes. Well, Kait, I am infinitely grateful that you're sharing your knowledge and your wisdom and your time with us. Very, very grateful.
I'm so grateful to be here and to get this opportunity as well because I love working with kids and I love seeing what they create. And so this is just a bigger, better platform so that more children get to do the things that we get to see every day.
Oh, it's going to be super exciting. Well, thank you so much for watching and stay tuned. Sign up in the wait list and get your hands on the course soon. Take care. Bye.